bro.
So speaking of good vibes, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy having one of the best holds since about 2018 for the MCU in terms of box office, which is all good signs. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about was in the second weekend, the movie only dropped 47.6%, which for a Marvel movie, for a normal movie, pretty solid. For a Marvel, for a Marvel movie, okay, pretty good. Much better than it has been. And I think there's something to that because Love and Thunder had 67.6% drop last July. Quantumania had a 67.8% drop in February. And that's where we had this other cycle of conversation. Because whenever one of these movies doesn't make $1 billion, it's there's superhero fatigue and all this. And let's talk about it. Because it clearly doesn't exist.
Can we talk about what has been the most successful movie in theaters since theaters have been back? What, Maverick, maybe?
Maverick's got to be up there.
And how long was that in theaters?
No Way Home and Maverick were both pretty good. Both of them broke $1 billion.
Okay, and how long were they in theaters?
I think No Way Home had $2 billion or close to $2 billion.
A month?
Maverick was in theaters for quite a while.
Okay.
Like a couple months.
My question is, you're going to get maybe one or two of those a year, every year, studios. Okay, so stop acting like everyone has to be one of those.
But see, that's
because not every one of those is going to be one of those.
But that's the environment that's been built. Because,
I know, and they haven't changed their shit because of COVID, and it's ridiculous. Theaters are like, we'll just reopen like we used to, and we'll keep that same fucking model. Guess what? You might that opening weekend for any movie, blockbuster or no, any movie, that first weekend, maybe first week, everybody who wants to see it is going to see it.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a lot more people that want to see that, maybe 2 weeks. But after that second week, who the fuck is looking at these things and going, oh, we had a massive drop-off from week 2 to week 3? Yeah, because everybody's seen it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Nobody's going to see these movies 4 and 5 times, not at those prices. I'll wait till it comes out on video again.
Yeah.
Shit. Until it comes out on streaming in a month on Disney Plus.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I understand a lot as I've gotten older, and it's
allergies.
I'm starting to learn something about this too. Is look, it's gotten even like I think people need to understand that we are still 3 years removed from COVID, and I think COVID was a huge shift in a lot of different things, and we now live in a world where we can get day and date on demand and theater runs. Now that's usually for smaller movies, and we know that HBO Max did what they did, which was probably stupid business wise. But let me finish my point.
Sorry, yeah.
And you're right. I think shit, you can watch Mario now, and that
Dungeons and Dragons is on streaming on Paramount. I think
that came out a month ago.
Where do you watch Mario?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh, you can buy
rent it or let me finish my thought. And we live in an economy where you're right. That's why this is a big deal. Why Avatar was such a big deal when it made the money it did. Why this Guardians movie is making a big deal, and it's one of the better openings for the MCU in some time. It's because people are being selective, and you're right. The people that are like me and you that have a podcast or listen to review movie podcasts or watch this stuff on YouTube, whatever the case may be. They're going to want to do it that first weekend. You're right, because they don't want to fucking get spoiled. They want to be a part of the conversation.
Right.
And the internet has changed that, and you're right. And we also live in an era where I'm with you. It cost me, and this is what I was talking about. As I'm getting older, I'm like, shit, I really have to make decisions if it's worth it anymore, because when we saw Guardians of the Galaxy, it was like $60 for 2 people, because it was $30 just for, and I understand
it was $30 for me.
I understand where we live; it's cheaper than most places.
Right, but it was $30 for me.
$30.
Well, the ticket was. I went to a night show, so the ticket was
by
like
yourself. It was $30.
10.
So take that and then add another.
Well, every time you and I go, we're each like one of us buys the tickets, the other one buys the concessions, and we're both spending about $30.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I need to smuggle. I need to smuggle more candy in. That's what I need to do.
Well,
and if people want to get on their high horse about that, be like, "Bitch, I paid the ticket. I don't need to pay."
Also, again, your stupid ass fucking movie theater model and what Hollywood
it's outdated.
It is so fucking wrong.
Because I can get tens and thousands of hours of content on my fucking phone in my pocket
without leaving my house.
I could pull up YouTube. I could pull up any of these fucking streaming apps on my phone. Like, so why?
They're gonna have to start providing blowjobs to get people out to theaters.
Which is again, but this is another thing I want to make in this point, which is why it's such a big deal that Guardians is holding so strong, because word of mouth still matters and good story still matters.
Yes.
And this is a really good movie, and it's Maverick was a really good movie, and it succeeded because it was so good, and people kept talking about it.
Maverick's insane, man. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I've seen it. We talked about it on the show.
Crazy, man. Like those.
I hate that movie. No, it's a good movie.
Those fucking all the jet scenes are just like. Ugh.
Yeah. And then when they fought the evil villain, no particular country, and then completely blacked out mask so you can't see their face.
The color of their skin. It could be Somalia.
Because
it could be the Middle East.
Because we want to release this globally.
Everywhere. No, what I was saying, and everything that you're saying is totally great. But kind of related. You're saying Mario.
This better not be okay. I thought you were gonna do it.
Kind of related. I had this ice cream one time. No, kind of related.
Should I put nuts in my ice cream? That's a pre-show joke. I'm sorry.
Gonna dip nuts in
before
my ice cream.
we went on the air.
But a joke about nuts in the ice cream. What happened?
What?
Okay, so.
Look how that's our reset button.
Mario, you were saying you can
you can already get it on.
There are a lot of movies there are a lot of movies that go to theaters, or you can on demand them at home, right?
Some of them are same
but
day.
What I'm saying, I think it's Paramount, because I got on it and I realized, or maybe it's HBO Max, but I got on the app on my Roku TV, and one of the first things was Dungeons and Dragons, the movie with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And that's not like on demand. That's because I have a subscription to whatever. I can watch that now.
It's on Paramount?
I don't remember which one, but it was
Peacock,
like, really?
Maybe?
Must be.
Peacock's
it's got to be
Paramount,
Peacock.
I think.
It's got to be. It's one of the two. It's not Max.
Wait. But who owns? Because if it's Universal, then it's Peacock.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Universal. Either way, it's like, that's cool because I want to watch that movie. I mean,
it looks good. I want to see it.
But that's way different than on demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still paying like $15 to.
Right.
You're still, it's Paramount Plus.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, because I was going on there to watch something stupid while I ate my lunch.
I might watch that tomorrow.
That's a good movie.
Have you seen it?
No, but I want
it. It looks like a good movie. It looks funny.
That's what I meant. Yeah. I want to see it. I'll watch it tomorrow.
I have a friend that does a lot of D&D stuff. I've been meaning to do it. I just never could with schedules. But he's I think he's the DM. I think he's run campaigns.
We have a mutual friend who's a DM.
Oh yeah, your brother? Wow.
No, our mutual friend.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh yes, our pimp.
You know, if you do a certain...
Well, if you're doing a blowjob gesture...
Hey, whoa, what? What was it? I wasn't doing it. No, but the funny thing is, we're not on video.
We are.
When you do a gesture, just a small tweak to that gesture is very different. Like, like this.
Yeah,
and this.
Yes, they know because they're looking at you right now.
Really?
Yeah. The government, the drones.
Those sons of bitches got nano.
Anyway, he's said it was good. So I'm like, hey, somebody that actually plays it a lot and is into it, says it's good, then it's probably going to be really good. So I'm interested. I'm fucking stoked. I didn't know this. I've been wanting to see that.
That's what I was saying. Is like, holy shit, that's already out. Like, I want to see that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I
forgot it was.
I wouldn't be surprised in the next few weeks we eventually do see Mario on Peacock.
Probably, yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
And that's the world we live in, and that is what I think could be smart, is if we think about what movies are gonna have legs. Now Mario made just so much money in that month of April because it's a big family, like family movies are gonna make money.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to be like huge like Super Mario, but I mean it's the fucking Mario Brothers movie, dude. That's one of the most recognizable brands in the world. Yeah. So it makes sense to me, and especially because it's always been at a young audience, it makes a lot of sense to me. And after only a month of its theatrical run, you can get it on demand. It makes so much sense.
You haven't experienced this yet because your child can't talk, but wait until your child starts wanting to go, like everybody's seeing it, everybody has one, all that stuff, dude. If you really want to be successful in this country, make something that your child, that everybody's child cannot live without, and you will make $1 billion.
Always go after the children.
$1 billion.
Always go after the toys. Toys, cartoons.
The person who made up Shopkins, these little tiny fucking things that are designed to be lost.
Yeah,
they are designed to get. What happened? Oh, I gotta buy a new set.
That's why those Legos are so small, so you can lose them.
No.
I like how you're like.
Dare you?
I like you're like. I want to take a break.
Legos are good,
but you will still defend their
Lego
honor.
is good. Shopkins are dumb.
To wrap it up, I'm happy that, especially in this, like we just said, like this day and age, to see a good movie actually still get word of mouth and still have legs and.
Yeah.
It also,
but again, you guys got to change your model at some point.
It's true. Look, I think two things can be right at the same time. I think that there is still superhero fatigue, and there is people are just being selective, and I think that there are people that are. A lot of people dropped out after Endgame, and that makes sense. That are just like, you know what, I don't really I don't want to be invested and you're right. That's just where this model doesn't work, or the theater model doesn't work. Like. You're asking people to commit a lot of time to these properties, especially at a time now when you have more entertainment than you ever had at your fingertips, like we just talked about. Yeah. So I think both can be true. I think superhero fatigue is real, but I also think that really good stories and really good movies will still have a place in the theater.
Yeah.
But it's just it is unfortunate because it's a double-edged sword, because it's one, we live in a world where anybody can have a voice, anybody could put a movie out, and a very small movie could get on something like Amazon or get on, some of these streaming services, and that's great. But that also means they don't get a box office because they're not going to make any money in the theater, because people, when they go to the theater, they only want to see the 20th Fast and the Furious movie and the 15th Avengers movie.
As somebody, okay,
you know what I mean?
I don't give a shit about the money. Now, the money's going to be nice, but you know where I'm going to get that money is by exposure.
And they might get a bigger project.
So to me, yeah, exactly. Dude. Yeah. I don't give a shit if I don't get anything from Amazon for it, because it's on there and anybody can watch it.
A creative person wants people to see their art, and so whatever it is, they're gonna try to get it out. I mean, why else do people, upload things to YouTube?
And we live in a society where
they could just put things out for free.
We live in a society where a guy comes up with a great idea for this futuristic cop and sells it to somebody, and they go, you know what? We got this RoboCop license. Let's just make it RoboCop. So there's that too. I mean, familiarity does. What I pay it for. But familiarity does count for a lot. Brilliant. Like you were saying, Mario's a fucking worldwide brand. So yes, there are kids movies that come out of nowhere and they're like, wow, that's crazy. Well, but a Mario movie, everybody knows Mario.
As a parent, I'm going to feel this way when he gets, like he says, when he can walk and talk and has a certain taste for things and all that, and going to movies or going out places. I am fully aware of that situation, and there are movies that you're going to want to take your kids to, because sometimes you're like, I just want this kid to stop yelling at me for 2 hours. I love him. I love him, but just stare at the screen for 2 hours, please. Like, that's just what it is sometimes. And I'm not saying all animation and stuff like that is for kids and all those things. I'm just saying, properties are, we're seeing. I love animation. I'm defending it. I don't know how I jumped on animation.
All right, so
you know why I'm thinking about animation? Because I'm thinking about the Spider-Verse. That's right. Across the Spider-Verse. That's coming out soon. I'm pretty stoked about that. June 2nd.
Oh, man, it's already 9 o'clock. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping it up after this.
We still got
one more segment.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.